Do you feel like there's been a rise in anti-Semitism towards you even though you're a very outspoken critic of Israel, do you feel higher rates of
I
anti-Semitism?
haven't I mean, no, every now and then I will see something anti-Semitic that's, like, posted by someone who posts stuff that's good on like, I will every now and then see something anti-Semitic that comes from anti-Zionist accounts,
Right?
but I don't feel like there's been an uptick, and I don't think most the anti-Zionists I know and, like, who are my allies really understand that anti-Semitism like, Jewish safety and Palestinian safety are linked, and when you pretend that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, that's dangerous, and, uh, this idea, Joe Biden saying, like, aren't safe without Israel, like, that's not the world I wanna live in where I feel like my president like, I hate to call him that, but,
In
like,
your
my
own
president yeah,
country.
my own country, yeah, that's just, an absurd thing to say,
Right.
and, like, the people I know who care about the Palestinians I know, or Arab Americans I know who care about what's happening to Palestinians also know that anti-Semitism is real. It's just not criticism of Israel. And in fact, it trivializes real anti-Semitism when you pretend that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like shooting the synagogue um in Pennsylvania, Tree of Life Synagogue, that's anti-Semitism.
Right.
It's not saying that Israel is a settler colonial state.
Right.
Or we had just today, Matthew Miller, or this week, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, Matthew Miller, the State Department spokesperson, condemned he was asked by Saeed Erekat, the Palestinian reporter, Saeed Erekat, he was asked about Francesca Albanese, who's the special rapporteur to the occupied territories, um, Palestine occupied territories. She said that Israel had met the threshold of genocide. And so Saeed Erekat asks Matthew Miller of the State Department about this, and he's like, well, we disagree. And also, she said some anti Semitic stuff, just smearing her as an anti Semite. I mean, just such rank weaponization of anti Semitism to score political points.
Right. Right. Um Well, and they definitely use that, right? They weaponize the label of anti-Semitism, but there's so many people who are I don't know. I mean, I even get confused on that. I don't think it's good to hate a person or to be bigoted against a person simply for that person being, having a certain culture or a certain belief or
Yeah, for
religion or
sure.
whatever, right? But at the same time, I also think it's fine to not like a person's religion. I think it's like if you don't like Mormonism, like
Yeah.
I don't think that makes you like a bigot against all Mormons, right? Like maybe you're critical of Mormons and what Mormon and certain culture behaviors or past culture behaviors or whatever. I think it's perfectly fair. I mean, people are certainly very critical of Christianity. Certainly people are very critical of Islam and people are critical of Judaism. And I think it's perfectly fair.
I mean, this is like a strategic question, honestly. Like, I mean, there are religious Jews who are some of like the most vocal anti-Zionists are religious Jews. So I don't think it's wise to. There's certainly lots of things about lots of religions I don't like,
Right.
but I guess I don't think it's like a strategic move to be focusing on that, especially when it's so easily weaponized by
Right.
Zionists.
Right. I think that's why that's why there is a focus on Judaism as a religion because there's and even Christianity as a religion because of the beliefs that have led people to say, well, this is God promised us this land. It's in the book, you know.
Yeah, well, that's obviously problem. I mean, anything that uses any use of religion to harm other people
Right.
is problematic.
What do you think the solution should be how would you if yeah, I mean, what do you think the solution would be
To what?
to Israel to the solution to
Like
Palestine,
what they did in
Israel,
South
the
Africa,
conflict? So just
one state.
desegregate one state.
Yeah,
So one state would mean it's no longer a Jewish nation.
right.
It would be, at this point, according to my math, about 50-50, because I think the numbers of Palestinians I think the number in Israel what's the population of Israel? It's like 7,000,000, but 2,000,000 are Arab. 2,000,000 are not Jewish, right? And then,
I don't actually know the numbers offhand.
I think there's or it's like 9,000,000, but 2,000,000 are Arab Israelis, and then there's 7 million Palestinians, or 5 million Palestinians. So when you mix them all together, it would be 7 and 7, basically. 7 million and
Okay.
7 million, I think is the number. And so it would no longer be a Jewish nation. What do you think about it? Like the idea that this is a safe place for, going back to the safe place argument, that this is a safe place for Jewish people to go. I mean, obviously it's not that safe, a
Right.
place that's like under rockets all the time, but I don't know, do you worry like another Holocaust would happen? I mean,
I mean, I think that, like, Jewish safety is something that has to exist all over the world, not in one nation. Um, and again, I don't think Israel makes Jews safer. I mean, we saw that with October 7th, even though it wasn't about them being Jewish, they were Jewish. I mean, look at what Israel does to its own hostages. Like, this is not a country that actually cares about Jewish life. That's their whole justification. And yet, if they cared about the lives of Jews, they would have engaged in negotiations. I mean, they shot 3 of their own that we know of. They probably poisoned someone with gas, that soldier whose mother says that he was poisoned in a tunnel. We know that they killed more on October 7th, and if they cared about the lives of Jews, they would negotiate, but they care more about killing Palestinians because they care more about this political project than they do about Jewish safety.
or I mean, I do think they care about Jewish safety. I think they feel like there's collateral damage, right? And that's all of the kids that are getting killed on the Palestinian side, and some of the
Well, of
Jews that
course, they
get
don't
killed
care
as
about the
well.
Palestinians, but I guess the more remarkable thing, not that it makes it worse, but the more notable thing is that they don't even fulfill their mission, which is to be a refuge and a haven for Jews. Because if they prioritize Jewish safety, they'd obviously be doing things differently.
Yeah. It's a terrible situation. It's just the whole thing is, I mean, people are definitely, as I mentioned in that poll, more and more people are looking at this and saying, "Wait a minute, I don't think I'm gonna support this anymore." I mean,
Yeah,
this isn't good. I mean, it's just really obviously, I mean, fear is a big driver. Fear will
right.
cause people to do really heinous things, and I think that fear of these Palestinians in Gaza has created this, this monster, and they've gotta slay the whole monster, and that's
Yeah,
all of the
unfortunately, these
people.
people who had nothing to do with the Holocaust are paying the price.
Right, isn't that the craziest part about it?
Yeah, and, like, Germany should be absolutely ashamed of itself. I mean, Germany is such a colossal embarrassment. Watching them with their anti-Semitism laws, which have disproportionately punished Jews, I mean, that should tell you something.
Right.
But they should be ashamed of themselves. They have no right supporting it. I understand why they're doing it, but they're doing is siding once again. Like, last time they were the ones doing the genocide, and now they're siding with their former victims who are doing the genocide.
Right, I mean, I get where they're coming from. They don't feel like they can criticize Jews at all, and they really don't have any place to. I mean, that's
Yeah,
you
but
know
they shouldn't be making what they shouldn't be doing is making Palestinians pay the price of their crimes.
right, they should be pointing out and saying, "Hey, guys, we made this mistake. Don't make this
Right.
mistake. Like, we need to learn from this history," but instead, they're taking the hard line. Thank you for watching this clip from The Kim Iverson Show. You could get the full show by going to kimiversonshow.com. The full show airs live streams every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is how you can catch the full show, because this was just a little clip of it. It is free for you to watch. Just go there. It is censorship free and free to watch. So join us again over at kimiversonshow.com. That is where you can get the full thing. Thanks for watching.